He put up numbers last week with a 9-tackle performance. It's the Vikings and the Lions on Thursday night primetime.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to Week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. On the return, Williams. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The numbers for him from a week ago. 19 carries, 56 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Right back to Swift again. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Being chased out left. And he goes out right around the 39. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
We both know there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop it behind the line. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Jennings. He dumps this off underneath to McFarland. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
They start the drive with Cook. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 15 carries, 57 yards.
Well, obviously he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty on the night's proceedings. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. To throw, Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on to the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Williams to return. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Winless to start the year at 0-2, and now they get the Thursday night game here in Week 3. So, I don't know, does the fact that they're back out so quickly, Charles, help or hurt their cause?
Oh, I say unequivocally help, because you always want a Thursday game earlier in the schedule rather than later, just because the grind of the season hasn't really set in yet. But also, if they can get a win here, they get a mini open week, recharge a little bit, and carry some fresh momentum into the rest of the season.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
The Lions are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Anthony McFarland, his first carry of the ball game.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
It's Ross Blacklock who earns the sack. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Williams loses the football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Swift going to try up the middle.
A nice little juke. Room here to run. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd.
To throw on 2nd down. Jennings. Touchdown!
Nico Collins.
His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Lions put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Now the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was Nico Collins who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Off the play fake, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Play action now, Cousins.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Encroachment, Ethan.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. On play action, Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards, the final tally.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Cousins. It's caught. Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point forthcoming. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates.
And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
On 2nd down, Swift
skirts by him at the 35. They find some open field here. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
DeAndre Swift, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions have moved out in front. With that run, going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Now for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now Cousins. Forced out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
1st down, here's the run with Cook.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
From the 38, Cousins. He's got Smith here. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Play fake. Cousins out to his left. And that is incomplete.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They were losers to the Packers a week ago, but they've got the lead right now here as they come up on a 1st and 10.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Holding, offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Straight ahead running. Here's McFarland.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jennings.
He'll swing that out, complete to McFarland. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Jack Fox on to punt.
Runs over it. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A throw over the middle, taken in. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They run it again with Cook. The 2nd down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides. But sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
This is Swift on the counter. 127 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter. 14-7. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. Back to throw. Jennings. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Operating from the gun, Jennings. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
2 yards. It's 2nd and 8.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jennings. And this one's incomplete. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Jennings. Steps away to his left.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. 1st down. Here's Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing, Cousins. Dancing, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Third down, here's a run by Cook.
And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Runs through another. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over.
The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to our Tiburon Studios here in Orlando. We'll take a minute and look ahead at what's to come this weekend in week number 3. Plenty of good matchups in that 1 o'clock Eastern window. It'll be noon at Soldier Field in Chicago. And a big test for the Bears, as they'll take on the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Later in the afternoon, a lot of the country will be watching the game at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it'll be the Packers. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window, one being out in Las Vegas, where it will be the Raiders. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Bucks. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Lions, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the star troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Now, the number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job, because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, Sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Cousins. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Here's Williams to return. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jennings. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
On the handoff, this is Swift. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
DeAndre Swift for the ball carrier. He was brought down at the 51-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. A give up the middle to McFarland. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. To throw on 3rd down, Jennings. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll maneuver his... The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
And this one taken in on the right. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Julian Okwara drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jennings. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jennings. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down. Jennings. He's got Bellinger. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Tackle there by Lewis Seen. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw. Jennings. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On 1st down, McFarland. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Running the slant, and he finds Mitchell. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Back to the running game with Swift. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Here's Swift. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Ball carrier. Taken down at the 11-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
On the handoff, it's McFarland. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Swift. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trip. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown Lions. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead, and that's what he did.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action now, Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Julian Okwara, his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had a lot of chances but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 11. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the 1st by a few yards. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a 2nd defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. The Lions offense set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Jennings.
This pass into the hands of Bellinger. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
147 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Jennings. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw. Jennings. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Jennings. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down and close to the goal line at the 1 yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1 yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Out of his end zone, Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
And that pick six, that was the first turnover forced by the defense in this ballgame, CD.
And what's even better is when they finally forced one, they kept the effort up, were able to return it for a score. They could hear their defensive coaches saying to them, hey, getting the interception's great. Can you do more with it? Turn it into a big play. And they did exactly that.
Now the try here for the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
Back to it after the pick six. Cousin.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Cousins to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll run right here with Swift.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Once again, it's Swift.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Swift going to try up the middle.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Here's Cousins. And Cook has it, left side. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Cousins now.
Right back to Cook for another completion. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Cousins' throw complete to Rager, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
To the air again, it's Cousins.
They'll check that down to Nwangu out of the backfield.
It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Cousins. This pass complete to Reynolds. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores.
And it's caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided ball as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. On 2nd and goal, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Josh Reynolds there to make the grab.
And the Vikings get a bit closer.
And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. A good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 100
170 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
So for Detroit, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.